I'm Meredith,
I'm Kayla.
and this was a mistake. You just heard Cape Canaveral by Connor Oberst. Kayla, I hear you made a mistake 2 days ago.
I did make a mistake 2 days ago, and it was a pretty great mistake because it makes for a pretty great story. We live in downtown Boston, and so that means we live by a lot of big hotels, including the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah. Nice bathrooms.
Yeah, nice bathrooms. The thing about the Ritz-Carlton is that a lot of famous people tend to stay there. So there have been, like a couple weeks ago, Harry Styles was there, and a bunch of girls mobbed his hotel room. Michael Jordan was there.
I missed that one.
Yeah, Michael Jordan was there. I ran into David Spade in there once. So yeah, it's just you never know what you're gonna get. And so the other day I was walking by there because you have to pass there to go to the gym. It's actually pretty nice because they have like the heaters on the top.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that whole street is just like a wind tunnel, so it's pretty nice.
Saves you in the winter.
And I see a tall man in a blue and white plaid shirt walk out of his car with his wife, and I'm like, whoa, that dude looks like Mitt Romney. And I'm like, I have my headphones in, and I just stare at him, and I'm listening to Bodak Yellow by Cardi B. It's a really just weird tonal kind of contrast there, and he just kind of looked. Like, we just made awkward eye contact for 2 seconds, and he went on with his day.
He just ran away.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no.
Yeah, I think he was scared. And then I was like, wow.
You're pretty intimidating.
I would have asked for a picture if I, knew 100% that it was Mitt Romney, but what threw me off was that he was so tall.
How tall is he?
He's such a tall man. He's at least, 6'4". But I confirmed that it was Mitt Romney because I looked it up on Twitter, and a bunch of people were saying that they had seen them in the Boston Common just, an hour prior, and also that somebody posted a picture of him in Legal Seafoods of all places, and he was wearing the same shirt that I saw him in. So I saw Mitt Romney. I made awkward eye contact. I should have asked for a picture, and I didn't. So that was my day.
I love that stuff. I like to think that Mitt Romney was scared of you.
I hope so. I'm just gonna say that.
Especially since you're listening to Bodak Yellow, you'd be like, oh, do you want to listen to this? What's your opinion about it? And he wouldn't have a good opinion.
He wouldn't have a good opinion. He has opinions on stale things like paper and office products.
He looks like he does.
So do you wanna talk about the poll?
Oh, we can talk about the poll. All right.
Poll?
So I'm a little upset that overwhelmingly, aka 100% of the votes you received said no. Cereal is not a soup.
It's not a soup.
Look, I get it, but not even one person could be like, Meredith convinced me yes, or even just a simple yes. 100% of you said no. And that was I will say, our friend on the show up next, think what? He pointed out, and I think this is the best argument I've received that cereal is not a soup. He said, soup must have a vegetable or a meat in it. And I will take that argument. That makes sense.
That's really fair.
But 100% of you, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, so you heard it here first. Cereal is not a soup. Stay tuned for our next poll that will be going up in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll ask our question later.
All right, what's our next song, Meredith?
Our next song is Long Live the Queen by Frank Turner.
Long Live the Queen by Frank Turner on WECB.
We're back, and you just heard New Slang by the Shins, and before that was Long Live the Queen by Frank Turner.
Good stuff here on This Was a Mistake. Speaking of mistakes, happy Accepted Students Day or whatever's happening in the... Just kidding.
There's a lot of balloons outside.
There are a ton of balloons. They were all in the Piano Row lobby. There's so many people in Emerson shirts awake at this hour, which never happens unless you're us.
Sadly.
But I think that means that Acceptance Students Day is happening, and we're just talking about our first week of college memories.
Good times.
You can tell a story.
I just know that I only made any of my friends because I knew how to use the T. Everyone's like, let's go to those. So we all know the colored round swing things that everyone.
Thanks, Instagram.
I hate it. Everyone's obsessed with it. I've been there. You can tell it's supposed to be a fun place for young business adults to play cornhole and Jenga at midnight and get drunk in a field. But they've ruined it, and now it's a bunch of passive-aggressive Instagram idiots fighting each other really passive-aggressively to get to the swings. And yeah, I had to go there twice, which is kind of a haul, but everyone's like, how do you get to the swings? I'm like, oh, I've got you. And I kind of went the most complicated way possible. I got on at Boylston, went 1 stop to Park Street, went 2 stops to South Station, and then went 2 stops on the Silver Line to the convention center.
Oh wow.
But everyone thought I knew what I was doing.
It's pretty hard to get to. I remember I got lost the first week because my roommate and I, and then my two friends from home, we went to go see Kanye West at TD Garden, which was incredible. We didn't.
Opposite direction.
At that point, I had only been to Boston for maybe like 6 or 7 days. It was
You
the
knew
first.
everything.
It was the first weekend I was there, so we managed to take the T to TD Garden. I think it's like near. What stop is that? Government Center or something around there. It's on the Green Line.
Oh, it's North Station.
North Station. Okay,
I
so
live there. I should know.
yeah, so we managed to get the tea there, but on the way home, I was like, I know where we're going. Meanwhile, you can walk from TD Garden literally to Emerson.
Yeah.
It does not take
That's
that
not
long.
too bad.
Did I know that at the time? No. So me, my friend,
Boston's scary.
my roommate from Seattle, and my two friends from New York, where I'm from, were trying to navigate the T
Oh man.
by ourselves for the first time. And so we ended up taking the Green Line outbound, and
You go to Leechmere?
we went like that direction and ended up in Science Park. That's the first and
Who
last
goes
time.
to Science Park?
Exactly, nobody. So I was like freaking out because I was like, oh my god, we're gonna die. Meanwhile, our campus is probably more dangerous than Science
Let's be
Park.
honest.
To be very honest. So yeah, so we ended up taking an Uber back, and that was my biggest failure of my first week of freshman year.
Aw. You made bigger failures since then.
That's true. I've made a lot of big failures since then. That kind of just set the tone. So, what's our next song, Meredith?
Our next song is Such Great Heights by Iron and Wine, which is actually a cover of, I think it's the Postal Service who sings the original, but very good acoustic cover.
Awesome.
And that was Alaska by Sky Sailing. Before that was Crayola Doesn't Make a Color for Your Eyes by Christian Andreasen. Awesome song, new favorite. And Such Great Heights by Iron and Wine.
Welcome back to This Was a Mistake, Jesus Christ's favorite show.
Ooh, I like that new. That's the best one we've got.
Confirmed. You know how like those commercials are always like 9 out of 10 the dentists recommend. 9 out of 10 dentists recommend This Was a Mistake.
1 out of 1 Jesus recommends.
Yeah, and Jesus recommends it too. So if you're a good person, you'll listen to our show.
Please. We need attention.
Yeah, we love attention. So we're gonna talk about a big story that's been it's kind of a meme now.
It's ridiculous.
You've probably heard of it. It's a little thing by the name of Szechuan sauce.
The Szechuan sauce.
If you don't know, there's a show called Rick and Morty, and actually one of the big plot points of season 3 was
it actually a big plot point?
It was in the first episode. I can't like get into it without explaining the whole show, but it was like a big part of the first episode of season 3. It was if you don't know what Szechuan sauce is, it's promotional sauce that McDonald's used to sell for when Mulan came out in 1998. And so McDonald's, as part of a promotional deal, gave out the sauce for like one day only, but they only gave about 20 packets to each location, and then so just chaos kind of erupted.
People, they had to call the police.
They did have to call the police.
What are people who watch Rick and Morty on?
Yeah, the fights broke out. Somebody was charging like $10 per lick because they bought.
I remember that.
Because they bought the last sauce.
Did you see this story about this? I hope this is true. Some person traded their Volkswagen for a packet of Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, it goes for about $400 on eBay right now. In case you're interested to taste some teriyaki sauce mixed with ketchup, because that's what it is.
Did you know you needed kind of a high IQ to watch Rick and Morty?
Okay. So full disclosure, I am a Rick and Morty fan.
It's embarrassing for you.
It is embarrassing because it's a very well done show, and most people who are fans of the show will agree that it's really well done, especially for an animated cartoon. All of my friends watch it. I watch it. I think it's hilarious. Do I condone people cosplaying as Rick and Morty and going to McDonald's to pick up some Szechuan sauce and then, starting a fight where the police have to get involved? No, I don't.
Go start fights. I mean, you were mad about McDonald's last week. Just go start a fight there.
I would.
Is that a topic now? Are we only going to talk about McDonald's?
Are we only going to talk about McDonald's? Yeah, so to conclude with that, McDonald's released a statement saying that they're sorry that it was handled so poorly and that Szechuan sauce will be back and it will be bigger and better than ever.
But not all of them are going to care. There won't be fights.
That's true. It won't
if we're not fighting about Szechuan sauce, why are we going?
It won't be as much of a meme, but yeah, no. Now it's Meredith's never seen the show.
I read a script. It was weird.
Well, I mean, you have to see the show.
I feel like at one point I've watched it.
That's alright.
But now I can't watch it because it's a meme.
That's fair. It is a meme now. Alright, coming up in a little bit, we have our weekly Twitter poll, so stay tuned to see what that's going to be. And what song do we have up next, Meredith?
Up next, Those Days Are Gone and My Heart Is Breaking by Barton Carroll.
Okay, this was a mistake, WECB.
That was The Gardener by The Tallest Man on Earth. And before that was Those Days Are Gone and My Heart Is Breaking, by Barton Carroll.
Good stuff here in WECB. It's time to introduce our weekly poll.
Alright, this is a very simple question for you. Kayla, what is the best airline?
JetBlue.
I will say their popcorners are pretty good.
That's true. They got the blue chips. They got the TVs in the back of the seats.
They do have TV that plays actual television.
They have some lovely uniforms. I think their quality. We were talking about this last week, I believe, and it's kind of became our question because we love to travel, unless you've never been on a plane, in which case get it together. Yeah, you gotta get out there, man.
I'm gonna throw Southwest in here.
Why?
Unless you're flying to Orlando, in which case it's full of children, because they just seem like moderately happy to be there. And it's slightly cheaper than JetBlue, so you can fight your way through the line for your seat.
That's I mean, I guess that's fair. I don't know. I just think of that story from a couple of years ago when there was a roof of a plane that just ripped off of a Southwest airplane.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So check your roof, Southwest. One thing we can agree on is that United is garbage.
I've never flown United. It doesn't seem great.
Yeah, they follow me on Twitter, which is kind of weird. The United Airlines Twitter. I had a bad experience with them. I was in Michigan with my mom, and we were on the way home, and we had an early flight, and United called us to just straight up cancel it.
What?
They called us at 3 o'clock in the morning. They were like, sorry, your flight is canceled.
Did they give you anything to do besides that?
No, they didn't have a flight available for us to take, so we had to go through Delta, which was fine, except our flights and our connecting flights got a little messy, so we were, running through the Detroit airport. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, the really long airport. It's 2 miles long.
Yep, and by fun, I mean not fun at all. So thanks, United.
What's your Delta opinion?
I like Delta. I've only flown Delta a couple times out of pure necessity. However, I haven't had a really bad experience with them, and they waited for us when our first plane was late. So I appreciate that.
My dad's convinced Delta is the greatest airline and has I don't even know if he thinks it's the best, but it's all he flies, and so he's like, oh, let's take Delta. I'm like, I don't want to take Delta. I want to take, for example, JetBlue.
Yeah.
Good thing about Delta, flies out of Terminal A at Logan Airport. Anything that flies out of Terminal A at Logan Airport, I'm cool with. If you fly out of Terminal B, get out. I will not fly you.
I've never been to Logan Airport before.
I'm going there today to pick up some people.
Huh, that's wild. No, let's see. New York has some airports, and all of them are on the list of the worst airports in America.
It's because of New York.
It's literally, that being JFK, LaGuardia, and one I'm not remembering.
I'm flying into JFK before I go to the Netherlands.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna hope that doesn't go terribly wrong.
Yeah, it's not as bad as LaGuardia, and then I think Newark is there as well. And Newark's in New Jersey, so it wouldn't really count.
There you go.
But it's pretty bad. So, vote in our poll. We'll have a couple choices up there.
Maybe a few.
Maybe a few. Maybe 2, maybe 4. Who knows?
No more than 4 because Twitter says no.
Yeah, that's gotta change, man. That's gotta
I
change.
know.
Or if you have a different airline that we haven't talked about that is your favorite, use the hashtag TWAM, and we'll look at it and we'll discuss the results on next week's show.
And don't forget to follow our Twitter at TWAM_WECB. TWAM being the acronym for This Was a Mistake.
Yep.
Now, up next, we have On Your Collarbone by Jordan Klassen, which was suggested by one of our listeners, Hannah Choi. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah Choi.
If you would like to suggest a song to us, a nice acoustic morning song, tweet us. I don't know, text me if you have my number. But yeah, tweet us at...
Carrier Pigeon.
Ooh, that'd be better. TWAM_WECB. And you just heard A Beautiful World by Tim Myers. Before that was Cult Boyfriend by Jeffrey Lewis. Awesome song. And On Your Collarbone by Jordan Klassen, requested by Hannah Choi. Thank you again. I would like to point out we already have a tweet.
We have
on
a
our
tweet.
poll. This is from Reams of Paper at Reams Landreth, who actually was the person I was going to pick up at the airport, who pointed out Spirit, Allegiant, and Frontier are the best because they're, quote, cheap AF. I do not trust Spirit, and they fly out of Terminal B, so no. But
He's on a Spirit
I'm
flight right
happy
now.
that you can afford to come see me, so I probably shouldn't complain.
That's definitely fair. So keep sending your responses.
Vote.
This-
Don't vote overwhelmingly for one choice.
Ooh.
AKA no. I'm so sad I convinced no one that cereal could be a soup.
She's salty. She's salty.
I'm a little salty.
For more of our shenanigans, definitely follow us on Twitter at twom_WECB.
Yeah.
Quick shameless self-plug, I will be on WERS, Emerson's other radio show, from 4 to 7 p.m. today.
It's alright, not as good as this one, but it's close.
It's not as good as this one, but it is close. I shouldn't say that, but it's okay. It shows about making mistakes.
It is. Like this one.
Like this one. What else? Inkblot is up next with Anthony. He's great.
He's the best. He told us stuff about our cereal poll.
Yep. It's a lot of useful
The
information.
only argument that I believe, so.
Yeah,
he
make sure
knows what he's talking about.
make sure to tune into a bunch of the WECB programming. It's all really, really great. We have a lot of talented student DJs here. What else, Meredith?
I don't know. Please follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, please follow us on Twitter. Next week, we are going to have a very exciting episode because possibly, hopefully, we're going to get... both of our sisters are going to be in town.
At least one.
At
unless
least one.
Someone, Holly Roman, sleeps in.
Yeah.
And hopefully she's listening to this so she knows that she shouldn't.
Yeah, so Holly and Cassie will both hopefully be here, and we're going to have a special sisters episode of This Was a Mistake.
So if you have anything to say to them, tweet us beforehand, and then we can ask them your questions.
And we'll bully them.
Oh, yeah!
On the air. So much bullying. All right, Meredith,
Definitely our sisters.
what's our last song?
Alright, so we're gonna play a few songs before we go, but most notable one playing next is called Big Black Car by Gregory Alan Isaacoff. Used to cry in the shower to this a lot. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you guys for
Thank
listening. Tune in next week.